Good morning, good evening, good night. Welcome to the NFT Live Studio on a beautiful Thursday. I am Nifty Q, your co-host. I'm sitting right next to my main man, Gifted. We are going to talk all things Trump NFTs. I think. No. We covered that yesterday. We'll leave that off. I do want to hear about Starbucks, Gifted. I didn't get a chance to kind of go through the details. I know you've been all over that ecosystem, but the main question today is it a bull or is it a bear? I'm getting conflicting feelings, conflicting sentiment on my timeline. Crypto is up, but NFTs are down. Where are we headed? That's the big question for today. The last episode of the week for this April. I think maybe we have one more. I don't know. I'm lost in a time warp. What's up,
It's only April 20th, also known as 420. So wherever you are out there, I hope you're enjoying the heck out of it, getting the most out of it. And happy 420. This is a national holiday, I believe, as far as Web3 is concerned. One of those where we celebrate one of our patron saints of NFTs and Web3, of course, Snoop Dogg. So, salute Snoop Dogg, everything that you've done for this space, sir. It's a big, big day. And again, I hope you're enjoying it. I've got my, I've got this right here.
Did you get your WAGMI?
Oh, I did not. I'm not getting a WAGMI jersey, but I did get something else. But I think this might be what I'm celebrating today. My Kali X board hash. Yeah, so this might be the move today for me to pull this out and actually like give it a shot. Apparently, these are really strong, really intense.
Can you get me closer?
I mean, without like the focus being bad. No.
Okay.
No, so it's about focus.
Okay.
Right. So
just send me one so I can have one in person.
Yeah, but that might be my move today. So let us know in the chat. How are you celebrating 420? I want to know what your get down is on a day like today, this national holiday. I got Starbucks pulled up. We can talk a little bit about that. Yeah. And then I mean, other than that, man, it's just good to be here with you back again. I can't wait to talk more about Trump. Oh my gosh. I mean, nothing makes me more excited about Web3 than what Trump's doing in the space.
Look, a lot of folks didn't think we could pull off a solo episode. Didn't think I got a bunch of texts that said, I don't know if Gifted can pull off the co-host on NFT Live on Tuesday, but you did it. You did it. And I pulled off a solo episode. I felt like it was July 2020, just sitting there talking about nonsense.
Yeah, it was pretty touch and go this week. Let's be honest, but we made it with your help. Couldn't have done it without all of y'all, especially Prodigy out there doing what he does, which is come through with some amazing comments and flame the hell out of Nifty Q. Love that.
Yeah,
keep it up.
Fair.
Keep it up, boss.
He's great at that.
But I did make it back to LA finally from a crazy 2-week trip up in the Great White North of Canada. I've been working on my Canadian, as you can tell. Got some maple syrup. I'm actually filled up with maple syrup entirely. It's amazing.
Ooh, that's what she said.
And yeah, that is what she said. How'd you know? Were you there? Were you spying on us? No, it was an amazing trip. Shout out to all the friends. I got to see Sketch Nate, the only, the creative genius, the artist behind DBs and Witchy GF. Mr. Sketch Nate came through and partied with us one night. Got to see Jordy, got to see Cynthia, Farah, some of my good friends. Did not get to see Mo Runda, of course, because she was in Miami.
What?
Not cool, Mo. Not cool, but it's all good. It was a great trip, and I'm happy to be back home in LA, at least for a day or two before we go to Consensus, before we go to Austin.
That is going to be, and then we have puppy hour. Yappy hour? What is it called?
Hour,
yeah, a little yappy hour action. Yeah, I'll pull that up.
Doge Pound.
Yeah, a little Doge Pound action. Hey, let's just pull up now. This is what we're going to be doing next week. We've been sharing it all week long. We are going to be having the Web3 Lounge at Highbrow, Lowbrow over in Austin, Texas during Consensus. That is going to be Wednesday, April 26th, 4 to 8 p.m. Might go a little bit later. You never know. They might let us stay up late and chat and have a few extra drinks. But that is going to be downtown Austin. It's going to be an amazing time. Shout out to Phil, who's been working heavily behind the scenes to make this happen. A lot of cool partners, a lot of cool sponsors as well. Definitely want to give everybody a shout out there. Guys, before we get started, this is not financial advice. As Gifted loves to say, do not listen to anything we say on the show and then go and buy or sell digital assets. That is not what we do here. What we do here is blow steam up each other's asses and say that we're pretty good here. talking about the NFT space. We're pretty professional about this. Isn't that what we do on NFT Live? In the job description.
I don't know if I'd say all that, but I would say this is not financial advice, and information was found publicly on the internet. Opinions shared on this episode are solely of the Web3 team. All information is public domain, so please,
it's a little bit better.
DYOR, do your own research, especially when blowing smoke up your friend's ass. It's dangerous.
We know from experience.
But okay, this is a great time for me to come clean and say that I did finally, after we talked about it and it went up another 150%, get some Pepe Coin. So
if you look, I will never join the meme tokens because of my existential fear of just like it being dumped on my head after entering. I had my fun in DeFi summer. That's about it.
Yeah. I mean, look, if you're not proud of me, I'm also not proud of myself. Let's just say that.
Okay. Well, yeah. This man doesn't even know his entry price, folks. Like, I don't know if you've seen the Pepe. Let's pull up the Pepe coin real quick. And then I want to get into showing you quickly, Gifted, a video that we listened to yesterday that'll just get your juices flowing. It's going to be amazing. But look, Gifted doesn't even know his entry price because look at the price of this token. I wish we had the lexicon to talk about this. This is a tenth of a tenth of a tenth of a tenth of a penny. I don't even know what the price here is. So Gifted doesn't even know his entry price.
I do not.
Is that what you're telling me?
No idea.
It's a safe way to live.
It's the only way to live in this wild, wild Web3, Q.
To be fair, though, this is where you started talking about it, right? You started talking about it on like Monday.
And of course, I waited because Gwei was a little bit high, and I didn't want to pay $30 for gas for generational wealth. You don't want to spend that extra $30 to acquire generational wealth. So while I could be up thousands and thousands of dollars, I'm probably just breaking even right now where we're at. So
saved gas.
Woo! That's how you do it, fam. Fucking killing it over here. But you know what? On a brighter note, Jacob, shout out Jacob, our executive producer over here. He was just like, yo, did you get your Nike drop? I didn't think that I did. And then when I just went and searched my email with Nike, check this out. Let me go ahead and share up my screen. Fuck yes.
Congrats, Rich.
I don't know who Rich is, but they just got an Our Force One poster. Let's go. Each poster unlocks first access to the upcoming OF1 collection, featuring virtual Air Force Ones from the past, present, future. Look at that. Apparently,
did you ever rock Air Force Ones like in school? Were you an Air Force Ones guy?
Not really. Boom.
I'm just
like a little bit.
Guy. I was more of an Air Max.
I've always been more of an Adidas guy, to be honest, but like doesn't mean
don't say that while you're showing Nike.
Yeah. Check this out. I got one. I don't know. I probably have to log in to see exactly which one. I think there's 4 different versions. Let me see if I can log in quickly or if it's a whole pain. I'm literally already getting errors. I'm literally already getting errors trying to log in.
Reminds me of the wax days.
Yeah.
Any sale, there was going to be an error. Is that the dotSWOOSH website?
Wait. Let's see. No idea what my password is. Just give it a shot.
I guess that's just living life on the edge here.
Hey, boom. Let's hacking go. You can see this, right?
Yeah, I can see it. It's coming. Yeah, I can see it fully.
Hey.
So I want to see that utility drop down here. We're looking at Nike Swoosh Live here, dotSWOOSH Live, folks, if you don't know what you're looking at.
Yeah, I don't know. What is the utility drop down? Does it drop down?
Go down. It says utility.
Oh, here we go. Got that mint pass. But this is cool because you see some of the different utilities that they're going to be including.
So the utility of this product is to buy something else from them?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, it's their first ever drop though. So like I'm not mad at that utility. I got the first ever poster and
it's actually kind of sick.
And I get mint pass like allow listed for their first OF1 first virtual drop. But you can see they've already got gaming in here.
Oh, okay.
3D files.
So if it lights up on a certain utility, that's what they're going for. So
Yeah.
they're gonna have multiple different products that offer that light up different categories. It's cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is kind of cool because you get some insight into the different utilities that they're going to be offering. Timeline, Mint Pass, Our Force One box. This Nike virtual creation can be redeemed to purchase one Our Force One box during first access. And so remember, all of this, fam, is on Polygon. So Nike just starting to explore or expand or utilize the Polygon network. What does this mean for Polygon? How big is this going to be?
We already know what it means. Gifted.
What does it mean? To the moon?
Going to the moon like SpaceX. Here we go. All right. Hey, we're just getting today's NFT live started. We're about 10 minutes in. Jawa, we see you there in chat. GM, Jacob Gooden, Prodigy. Choina's in the house. Our vibe, our tribe from Choina. Prodigy's calling us potheads on 420. That's fine. I'll be fine with that. Nox Darkness, GM, OVOT. Squash Man is here saying nice to Prodigy. I also rock DCs and Chucks heavily. Also Vans, Fallen, America. Wow, America. That's a throwback there. Choina saying
with an E.
My shift's been moved to my shift's been moved to weekends for a few weeks, so I can actually join live. Great to be back with the tribe. I'm gonna highlight that comment really quick because that just made my day. Choin is gonna be with us for a few weeks. We're happy to have you, sir. Hopefully your spring is going well. You know whose spring is going really well is Senator Tom Emmer here, who is just absolutely endearing himself to the crypto community. Gift, you did not pull this one up, but this is an amazing clip.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
I saw it too, but we didn't play it on GM Web3, so I'm excited. But also, real quick, before we hop into that, if you can pull back up my screen, I just pulled up the NFT. Apparently, it's interactive. So you can I don't know if you're looking at it, but you can click on the sneakers and they move, they're dangling, but you can also rotate it around. That's pretty cool.
I guess that does something for me.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Come on. Interactive NFTs.
Yeah.
That's high quality. Look at the quality of that 3D.
It's got to change the metadata for me if it's innovative.
Snap.
Oh.
So you can
pull it. Make them hit each other.
If you click them, look at that.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of cool.
Come on. You're telling me that's sick? So if you click on them, it pulls them like you're gonna swing them, and they bump into each other. But it actually breaks the wall. That one popped out of the wall. So let's see. Hold on, real quick.
I also like the
look at that, bro. Come on.
I also like the homage to the shoes on the telephone wires.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
That's sick.
Okay, all right. We'll give you a pass there, Nike. I like that. Positive. We're usually pretty harsh on any larger brands entering, so the fact that you guys took the dub there is pretty good.
Yeah, they're I think putting some quality behind it, which is exciting.
All right, Tom Emmer. Look, we covered this yesterday. Gensler got wrecked. SEC got wrecked yesterday. Will anything come of it? That's the actual question. Yeah, it's really cool to see them sit up there and roast them, but or roast the SEC. But will anything substantial come from it? Will the SEC actually feel any heat and change its policies? Will people get removed from their chair and all these different things? That's a whole nother issue. But we'll just relish in this moment of seeing Gensler on the hot seat. And Emmer actually took him to task yesterday. This is an amazing clip. I wanted to run through a brick wall yesterday. I'm going to do it today.
Digital asset industry to access financial products and services in the United States than it was, say, 2 years ago? The answer, sir, is yes. Do you think you and the SEC have had a role to play in that? You have played an obvious role in that. Were you the chairman of the SEC when FTX collapsed?
Yes.
And how many times did you meet with FTX prior to their collapse?
I think my public record shows 2.
You met it with FTX at least twice. Does it concern you, by the way, that your approach to the digital asset industry is actually driving this industry out of the United States? You can't really think that pushing this industry abroad is going to protect American consumers when it hasn't several times in the past on your watch. You say the crypto market is rife with non-compliance. However, existing SEC rules make no sense for blockchain-based companies, and following them would actually kill these businesses. Your regulatory style lacks flexibility and nuance, and as a result, you've been an incompetent cop on the beat. doing nothing to protect everyday Americans and pushing American firms into the hands of the CCP. Your intention to work against SEC mission and put American investors in harm's way has been made very apparent, sir. It's been a year and a half since you've appeared before this committee. You need to answer to Congress about the issues that you've had with the SEC staff union, the work environment you've cultivated at the SEC that's led to hemorrhaging of senior staff, the intellectual inconsistency of your regulatory treatment towards Bitcoin spot ETFs, and that's just to name a few.
Oh! Let's go. God damn.
Oh, it feels good.
Woo!
It feels good.
It does feel good.
Yeah.
It does feel good. Any I know we talked about on the morning show this morning, but any other takeaways from the SEC hearing there?
I think, well, okay. One of the things that I was kind of saying on GM Web3 as we watched one of those other clips of him just kind of getting raked over the coals and, torn to pieces about how he's been handling or mishandling his treatment of the crypto industry is that it does actually make me feel slightly better. Like, it really, like, seeing them expose this man for his incompetence or his unfair treatment, or the fact that he is not actually coming at this with a really put together, clear, well-intentioned schedule, right? I think that it does make me feel a little bit better about it. And also, to your point, Q, you were saying how you actually felt there was sort of a almost pro crypto vibe in there. Mm-hmm. Like, people really kind of standing up for the industry. And that's kind of in contrast to what we've been feeling, which is that doesn't really seem like most of the people up there on Capitol Hill or in our government give a shit if Coinbase leaves, if a lot of these companies exit the US and go elsewhere for greener pastures to develop and create the next, generations of wealth, right? I feel a little bit better seeing this man exposed publicly for what he's actually doing, which is trying to stop innovation. Essentially, he's trying to kill innovation in the US. And
is killing it, because the post that came out, relatively shortly after these hearings ended was that Coinbase is trying to receive a license and is receiving a license in Bermuda to have an offshore exchange, to see one of the largest exchanges in the world, definitely in the US, like side by side, probably, or on top of Kraken. Where would you go if Coinbase didn't allow you to buy, sell, withdraw, deposit? Probably Kraken at this point, maybe Binance US. But I mean, there's just if this happens where they significantly reduce the different things that are happening in the US related to Coinbase, that's a tough move. And I think this is more of a scare tactic. I think you had mentioned that on the morning show as well, that this is probably more like, hey, we are going to move forward in Bermuda, but likely this is to kind of put some pressure here after the hearings have gotten so much press.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. I like, the one other thing that I'll say on this is Tom Emmer is making a meal out of this. I think he's been one of the smartest in terms of how he's utilizing crypto as a football and running with it as a political football. He sees that there's a lot of energy and interest and money in crypto, and he's absolutely making a name for himself on the issue, because he has been and again, like, apparently, from what I've heard, apparently he has some kind of shitty alt-right, background history, but I don't know much about that. You know what I mean? So if he's a shitty guy, if he's done a bunch of bad things, that sucks. He's successfully branding himself here as a very pro-crypto, pro-innovation, pro-business politician now, right? Because he has been one of the consistent voices that we have looked to as one of the only intelligent people up there on Capitol Hill that knows what the heck he's talking about when it comes to blockchain, when it comes to DeFi, any of this shit. Most of them are still talking about like FUD, like erroneous FUD from 5 to 10 years ago. Yeah. Most of them have no interest in actually understanding why this technology matters except for him. So, again, if he's a shitty guy, if he's done bad stuff, I'm not trying to say he's a messiah or a great dude, but I am saying he has been very savvy of picking up this football and running with it, because there's not a lot of other leaders up there right now. And so we have to play his clips and applaud him when he's out there, standing up for the things that we do believe in when it comes to decentralization, self-sovereignty, blockchain, crypto, all this shit.
I think we had played clips of Emmer before talking favorably about crypto, and there was a couple other representatives that have been, pro crypto for a while. But I think it was a surprise to most of us to see that amount of vitriol being spit at Gensler. Like, apparently he hadn't been up there in about a year and a half. Since then, FTX has happened, Terra Luna has happened, a lot of different things in the crypto space and outside that space have happened under his watch. So, and it's a policy of, enforcement of basically saying, hey, we're going to not set any rules and we're going to come down and to Emmer's quote, be a cop on the beat. I think the Hotel California quote was brought up before, just like being able to like pop in, hey, you're doing something bad, and then pop out whenever he feels like it, is kind of the way that they operate now. So yeah, it was cool to see them being taken to task for sure.
Well, also regulation by enforcement is not the way to do a good job, in period. It seems like that's how they're trying to do this. Instead of setting up clear regulatory guidelines for people to just build within, the certain sandbox that you want them to, they're literally trying to regulate by, attacking, like by enforcing, by coming at people and suing them. It's just like, this is not a productive way. And to your point, Q, there is clarity in this, and that is that they're just trying to stop it. They just don't want it here. Right. That's the net effect of all of this. And I think, the interesting thing about you bringing like FTX and all this stuff and what's been going on under Gensler's watch is, I think it was Tom Emmer who was the one person during those like FTX proceedings who was pointing out, like, this is not a failure of crypto. This is not a failure of DeFi.
That was it.
This is a failure of centralization. Actually, like, y'all don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, straight up, like, this is actually a problem with centralized finance.
And they tried to pin the SVB stuff on crypto as well. Like, they literally like shuttered whatever the crypto services were for SVB at the time. And so they try to like direct people's vitriol that way, saying that it's a scam and all that stuff. So I think, again, we're super appreciative of some support that we're seeing. Again, follow Ryan Selkis if you guys want to keep up with what's going on Capitol Hill at the clip that he's keeping up with. Like, that's his main job. I don't even know what he does as Masari anymore, to be honest. He just is like this white knight for us. Hopefully he doesn't turn out to be this huge scammer, which I don't think so. He's been in the crypto space for a long time. But folks, we are squarely in the quick hits part of the episode. We are going to do an NFT Go bag check here in a second that looks at price floors, that looks at collections, and then we are going to get into the biggest news of the day, which is the question of where we're at, man, because NFT prices are down. ETH is kind of, sitting there at 2K, but it touched 21. I mean, we saw Bitcoin head over 30K. So where we're headed, I see positive bullish sentiment. I see negative bearish sentiment. And the question is, what is the deal? We don't have the crystal ball, but we can kind of show different information that we've been able to source, as well as kind of give our own opinions, which is not financial advice, by the way. So, all right, before we do get to the next topic, I do want to show off the NFT Live tweet of the day, because we do have a giveaway associated with this today. We have $25 in ApeCoin, not 25 ApeCoin. I always have to talk about this because I've gotten DMs before being like, hey, I thought this was 25 ApeCoin. No, sir. 25 USD smackaroos of ApeCoin. I don't know what that is exactly at this moment, probably around 6 to 7 ApeCoin. If you come into this tweet, and I'll link it here in chat for you guys, if you come to this tweet and directly in the comments below the Hasbullah, above the Hasbullah, wherever you want to put that, about a topic that you'd like us to cover on today's community topic, we will pick one winner today that will win $25 worth of ApeCoin. So we appreciate it. If you guys could do that, of course, we want to reward you guys for kind of tuning in and help and support us through this bear market, man. So that is the giveaway.
smash the like while you're at it, because we haven't said that enough yet today. And it really makes a difference getting these shows out to the people to hear all this interesting development happening in the Web3 and crypto space. You know what? We need more education. We need more onboarding. That's our mission here, is the highest quality editorial education and entertainment in the Web3 space. So, you know, we keep showing up every day, and we appreciate it when you give us a like for trying our best to provide that.
Okay, so we are going to get to the comments here before we get to this next piece as well. It looks like we had multiple people get in on this Nike airdrop. So Squashman saying, yo, I got a Nike airdrop. Jacob Gooden. So Jacob got a cultural poster with this Nike airdrop. Jacob, is that your first NFT?
Let's go.
Sir, I need to see your wallet right now. I would love to see that. What else do we have here?
I guess mine is the regional poster. So I got the regional. I'd love to see what the others look like. Okay. You know, maybe we can go look at this real quick, actually.
Yeah, let me finish out the comments real quick. Marty's saying, had no hesitation to dump a doggo for a 2 ETH loss, but hesitated to spend 0.5 on Pepe. What is wrong with me? Well, one of those has extremely good fundamentals, and the other is a meme coin. That is one thing I would say about that. Choina saying, I caved and bought 420 million Pepe on 420 at 420 UTC. Sir, that can only go well. You know, not financial advice, but you're sitting pretty on the narrative there. You know, for the culture, you may all exit on me now. And Jacob said it's his third NFT ever. So what's going on here? Regional.
So this is the one that I got. There is innovation. So it just looks like each of them have different designs. So like regional with mine, I guess these are actual existing popular, like some of the most popular shoes in different regions, I'd guess. These are like newer, more innovative designs. Then we've got heritage. So maybe some of the
black
most
Nikes,
famous,
all black Nikes.
People's champs. Maybe these are voted some of the most populars. I don't know exactly. Cultural though. Here we go. That one's really cool. That one's got some neat ones in it. So there you go. Those are the 4 different posters. And yeah, pretty cool that several of us in the chat got them, because not everybody with a dotSWOOSH got one, apparently. I think it was about 1/3 got it. So
feeling lucky today?
Just a little bit. I mean, I think it's about 100,000. I think it's about 100,000 people. So, you know, it's not like the rarest thing, but I think it's still pretty cool to get the first ever Nike NFT like that.
No,
you know? I guess I got the first 2, since I guess you could say the dotSWOOSH domain is really their first NFT.
Okay, so I'm gonna hit a lot of quick hits here relatively fast. So they're actually gonna be quick and not like long rabbit hole conversations. Gutter Cat is putting out we had like announcements or like some speculative tweets essentially that came out from both Gutter Cats and Nakamigos, which is one of the next stories that I want to get Gift's take on. But it says something's cooking in the contaminated pond on the east side of Gutter City. I'll zoom in on this post really quick. I don't know if we can see anything specific. It says Gutter City Garden. There's a phone. There's a robot in there. So it looks like part of their collection is here. You see anything?
Well, those are, what are they called? The clones, right?
This was my initial thought. I didn't even see this comment till right now. The first comment, please be something more than a 5th species that dilutes the supply even more. Yeah, hopefully. I mean, if they do that, like that's a nail in the coffin. The 5th nail in the coffin. That's officially over and done with. If they think they're going to launch some type of additional supply into that collection. But yeah, I mean, it's cool to see Gutter Cat, a former blue chip, get involved. I say former, that was about a year ago. They lost that status probably.
See, I think this is one of the things I wanted to understand is like, when does something lose blue chip status? I would say of any of the quote unquote past blue chip projects, Gutter Cat is definitely one that would have lost that status by now. But like,
yes.
What's that threshold? You know what I mean? Like, has Moonbirds lost? Has Clonex lost blue chip status? Let us know in the chat what you think. Are there any other previously blue chip projects that have lost blue chip status, and why? Is it just floor price? Is it volume? Is it many different sort of metrics? Different social media metrics of how many people are rocking it. You know what we don't pull up enough, Q, is the number of people rocking the PFP metric. Ooh. Whatever that platform is.
Yeah.
We need to start looking at that more. Because
yeah.
I think that's an important metric that matters a lot.
I'll try to find that again. I need to go on Twitter. If someone wants to drop that analytics platform in the chat, we can pull that up. Otherwise, I think that leads well into the next story that I was going to leave for later. But I think this is an apt time to do so, because you just asked, when do you lose blue chip status? What does blue chip status look like? I think we can touch on this and then cover it later. But I essentially have NFT price floor up here. And avert your eyes if you are weak of heart. Right now, this is 30 days against ETH for the top crypto or NFT collections, right? We got CryptoPunk sitting up at the top. They both are under 50 ETH. Bored Apes and Punks are under 50 ETH. Mutant Apes, I mean, against ETH, you'll see here in just a second, 15% down over the last 30 days isn't even bad. Because we have some projects that are down bad, senor. We have 20% on other deeds down. We've got Chromie Squiggles. We just had someone enter the chat. Enter the studio. I see you, Biggie. I'll bring you up here. Decentraland, Fidenza's, CloneX, all down 20%. Kennel Club down 25%. I mean, just avert your eyes. It gets worse, as you can imagine. Outside of the Milady's pump, which is just apparently just an aberration. Milady's is up 100% over the last 30 days, about 200% in the last 24 or 7 days, sorry. But yeah, man, this is a tough one. But going back to your question, what is still a blue chip? I think you look at this chart and you say, where do they, where are they? Which are the blue chips now? It's an apt time to do a rate my bag segment, I think, at some point in the near future.
Yeah.
How bad does that chart hurt?
It hurts. It's a scary time. But again, it's like, I don't know, man. I really keep the hope alive and look forward to sitting here a year from now and being like, hey, remember when we were below 50 ETH and we're up, back at 150 or something? I don't know, man. Maybe we never get back there. That's kind of the worst case scenario for me, is that we literally peaked in 2021 and it's all downhill, or we never regain those types of hype levels. But I think it's hard for me to imagine that that's the case, even with the crazy amount of speculation that we had as it's a new fresh thing, a new market, and being in the midst of a bull. Just because I do think over time, as the tech gets better, the UIs get better, the integrations get better, and the networks grow, I do think that you see more demand for a lot of these quote unquote blue chips, or the principal IPs, the great IPs that have been there building communities that have a lot of that track record. I don't know. It's hard for me to imagine that CryptoPunks don't get back to a crazy floor at some point. You know what I mean? When we're in a different market.
All right, before we go any further, we've got Biggie Poppins here on the show. I'll promise to get a better intro for you, Biggie. Here, we need a WWE intro.
No,
what's up,
man,
brother?
I just love dropping in and unannounced this way. I'm really quite enjoying it, dude. I have no explanation what happened today. I think it's 420. Just had to get in here and say OVOT and happy 420 to all y'all that are still enjoying it today. Man,
we appreciate
I
when
was
you
here
jump in,
2
bro.
days ago, and all that has happened right in just 2 days. It's unbelievable, man. And I like your take, Gif. I do agree. I don't know. I really do believe in that whole analogy. In this world, there are two types of people. There's the Eeyores, and then there's the Tiggers. And I know where I fall in that camp. And we're going through some shit times, but man, I've been happy. I went out and I celebrated my 420 over here. Not the way you guys think I did, because it's illegal over here. It's the death penalty. But I still went and got smoked. I got my smoked ribs. I got my smoked chicken. I went and did it America style, baby, and it was awesome. I was just so happy to see what you guys were discussing right when I woke up to see what was going on, which was the whole Gensler twirling. I can't tell you how much I enjoyed that. It's nice to get some pushback. It's nice to see that there's people waking up to what we have. You know, I don't know, like it's ours to lose, right? It's ours to lose this opportunity to be the hotbed for innovation with this new technology. And so it's just great to see some people that are, you know, cognizant of the value, you know, that is in our hands, and that, you know, and just getting some pushback from these fucking assholes, right? But anyways, getting back to this whole situation that you guys were discussing, you know, about blue chips and all. I mean, we talked about it 2 days ago. Yeah, man, it is hard to get through, right? And then sprinkle on top this whole shit coin meta going on right now. And of course it seems dire, right? But to me, just it smells of desperation. It smells like we're getting close to the bottom. It doesn't mean we're just gonna bounce back and rocket up immediately, but you know, I'm still optimistic. I see y'all in the chat. I thank you for the warm welcome. I always love seeing you guys, Marty, Knox, Prodigy, Choina. Love you guys.
We've been thinking we might be close to the bottom for months, though. That's what's hard right now, is that it just feels like the bottoms keep getting bottomier. And yeah, man. But at some point, you're right. It's like you know what? I think this is maybe I wanted to talk more about it on GM Web3 because you brought it up, but somehow we kind of like skipped over it a little bit. But like Franklin is bored.
Yeah.
Leaving the space. Like we didn't really get into like what do we think is going on there? But to me that feels like sort of a bottom signal in a way, right? Because you've got this guy who's been put up on a pedestal as like, you know, a genius in the space, who has literally been controlling so much of the liquidity within, you know, the top collections. This guy has been, you know, Franklin is bored. Of course, we're talking about him. He's been trading back and forth, playing this game, and ultimately, like he's just gone. Like this was like the Bored Ape whale, or one of the only real Bored Ape whales known for that, put up on a pedestal again as a genius just because he got in early, you know, got lucky on some apes. And he's been able to keep this running and play this game this whole fucking time at a level that nobody else has. And the fact that he finally hit a wall, he finally lost his ass, he finally got rugged, whatever it is, the fact that he kept gambling until he found himself in a hole that he couldn't even get himself out of anymore and literally had to just disappear. It's like, you know, it's almost like an FTX collapse or like an SVB collapse within how small the NFT market is, right?
Yeah.
Like this is like a big bank basically going dissolving and like going away and just disappearing. You know what I mean? It's like it is kind of like a black swan event of sorts.
It's a micro event
within
sure.
within the NFT. Yeah.
You know, can you confirm though? Like, did he lose everything? Because I don't know. Like, from what I understand, he kept like his rarest apes or something. Like, he still
I think he just has
something, right?
The one golden ape. So some people were looking. Yeah.
So Jimmy definitely kept his apes. So this happened at the exact same time. So Jimmy was the one that was tweeting out saying, I sold a bunch for taxes and I still have a bunch of apes left. We don't know about Franklin. Franklin, I've heard from different, you know, sources on Twitter saying, hey, he lost, you know, I think even Franklin himself said he lost like 3,000 ETH.
Yeah.
I thought he said 2,000, but either way, he the story that he put out there before totally disappearing is that he lost a whole bunch of ETH, like at least 2,000 ETH is what I saw. And he had to sell all of his apes. Some people that were going through his wallet said he's just got the one golden ape left, his rarest, that's his PFP. Again, it's you know, we haven't like independently verified all this. This is just what we've been seeing, right? But if all this is true, and like it seems like he most likely lost his ass and then has just said, I need to get the fuck out. And like, and I assume like part of that is like, he's probably getting a lot of hate. Like he's probably getting a lot of negativity, a lot of toxicity, just like a Ryan Carson. You know, someone, I think it was UQ, brought up Ryan Carson too. That was an interesting, another sort of leader that was put up on a pedestal that totally just disappeared. Basically, just said, "Fuck this! I can't make it anymore. It's not working." And I don't, and I don't care enough about the community to hang on or show up in these hard times. That's the worst thing about it to me. It's like, I get if you're going through a hard time and that sucks and you need a break. But when you handle it this way, it kind of, to me, just shows where you really are in terms of caring about the community or the longevity of the space or like the people that have been supporting you or rallying around you. Any of that to me kind of goes out the window when you handle it a certain way. And it feels like to me at the end of the day, it comes down to, hey, I lost some money, I got fucked over, or I feel like I didn't make it. And so fuck everybody, fuck y'all. I'm gonna disappear on you and all that. It's just kind of like, okay, just kind of shows your true colors a little bit, right? It says, okay, so you were never here for the community, for the Bored Apes. Really, it was all about money. And when it didn't go in your favor, all of a sudden you said, fuck all y'all, I'm done. And again, nobody deserves toxicity. We're not encouraging people to like put up with toxicity. And there's a lot of that online, but as somebody who's been through a lot of ups and downs and also received a lot of toxicity from a lot of people, like it hasn't deterred me from wanting to show up and keep building and keep talking and supporting how I can. So I guess that's just how I feel about it. And it makes me feel different about these people when I see them sort of just say, fuck all y'all, I lost money, I'm out.
I do think Franklin's feeling a little bit of heat from the Ryan Carson piece. Like I don't think that we would be so like on top of him about leaving if Ryan Carson didn't do it as well. I think it was like happened in quick succession within like a couple months of each other. I do have some comments here in the chat as well that are talking about Franklin's wallet. So Sony Black saying, I've been a long time listener, but always listen afterwards. I actually bought some Franklin apes. He's possibly not quite done liquidating. Quantum Variance in the house saying Franklin still has 13 apes and 3 punks. I just checked his wallet. And Sonny's saying I think he still has 24 apes. So
you know, to me there's that one part that you're talking about, Giff, which is like abandoning the community or the approach you take in communicating that with somebody when you've been such a big influential person within that community. I think, the political side of it and how you deal with that is one thing. Having said that, like personally, like, you know, if you just lost your ass because, you know, even if you're still holding to some stuff, losing that amount of value can be very hurtful. And then at the same time, add the vitriol that you get in social media. I can understand why he said, hey, you know what, I'm going to take some time off and just enjoy my life and try to save whatever I can, right, that I still have. I think that's healthy. I think that's good. You do need sometimes, you know, again, to relieve the pressure. Some people are capable of like just, you know, staying in this and withstanding that pressure, right, and participating and staying positive. And other people, I do think it's very healthy for them to just stop looking at the fucking charts and stop looking at the goddamn floor, right? Because in this world right now that we live in, that seems to be the factor that determines success or not. And honestly, I just don't agree with that at all. You all know that I don't. You know, if that is your measuring yardstick for what's being successful and what's not, and you're not taking a long-term vision, then you're missing the point of crypto and where we're at this moment. And so for somebody like him that just took a real swift kick in the balls, you know, like unplug him for a little bit and trying to save whatever he has, you know, I think it's a smart move. Now, the approach he might have taken or the attitude he might have taken to do that, that's a different story, right? To each their own, I suppose.
Yeah, I feel like the main topic for today kind of got hit on here, right? We were touching on, you know, where we're at in NFTs and all that stuff. And the one thing I will say, just using past experience with previous cycles, there were a lot of projects that, you know, were maybe big time players-ish in that 17-18 cycle that never came back. You know, like an EOS, for example, is like the quintessential, in my opinion, like one of the largest projects at that time. Still around, still got people building on it, but never came back into the zeitgeist, if you will, and is sitting at like maybe, you know, $1 today, where it got up to like $21 in $24 in the bull market there. So I think that's kind of using that analogy. I'm going to apply that here. It's like some projects aren't going to come back, like a Gutter Cat gang. If they don't get their shit together, they're even in the next run up, there's not going to be that much of an increase in what's going on with that ecosystem. There's going to be new players that get in that offer a lot more, that take up people's attention, but projects that continue to build and do it in the right way. You know, like you could say build and it be a meme, but those projects will come back. You know, there are a lot of blue chips, quote unquote, or less than, that will see definitely back increases like Biggie's talking about.
What was the name of the spokesperson for EOS? Remember the top hat dude?
Brock Pierce.
Yeah, Brock Pierce, man. And he was so eloquent, right? And he was in like all the different conventions and everything. And man, he sold that so well. I recall. Yeah, I participated in the whole EOS thing for a while.
Fun
Lost
times.
my ass in that too. Yeah, fun times.
What do we got here?
Yeah, never.
I mean, this seems recent. This seems relevant to what we're talking about, because we were trying to understand a little bit of what was going on with the dips. Part of it might be tax season, you know, some other things going on. But apparently, here's a couple quick updates on what's been going on with the recent dip. So there was a large sell order on Binance. Someone sold 16,000 BTC. And some others may have seen that and followed suit. The UK also released apparently really high inflation metrics, above 10% inflation. And then also people have been selling with just a lot of supply, given the recent, you know, 30K and 2K marks on Bitcoin and ETH respectively, both important levels that we haven't seen in a long time. So basically about $240 million was liquidated from crypto market within 24 hours. And that happens, they say here, when margin traders don't put up enough collateral, so the exchange closes their position since they don't have enough money to keep their trades open and cover the losses. So basically a squeeze here. Yeah. So anyway, shout out Milk Road for giving some explanation to what's been going on with this recent dip.
Yeah, the 9th of April we saw 27,000. By the 14th of April we crossed over 30K, 31K. And then I think this is the moment you're talking about, GIF, of Wednesday, that sell-off happening below 29, which is like kind of like a psychological, right? Those round numbers. Oh, we're gonna break below 30. Of course, we're gonna sell off there. But yeah, man, it's a tough time to time it. I think the biggest angst I see from the NFT folks is like, hey, ETH is going up, Bitcoin is going up, NFT prices are going down. You know, we're losing like in both maybe a little bit of USD, more so in ETH. But we're kind of worried. Hey, when do the NFT bids come back, if ever? Is that extra piece?
Yeah, shout out Sony Black, who's absolutely been killing it in the chat over here, saying, I'm in a sharp blur trading group. Things are still looking grim. But a big farmer withdrew apparently 1,250 ETH from pools and sent it to Binance. Liquidity is drying up big time. So yeah, we haven't even really checked in on what's going on with Blur token much. And we really haven't been covering much about the airdrop that is still ongoing. I haven't been trading as much. Like I haven't been taking advantage of the Blur stuff at all. Like I may end up with like a really small airdrop out of it. But I really haven't been focused on trading on Blur at all. And to be honest, like it does seem like a lot of it was kind of just being gamed by Machi and Franco and a couple other big players. So yeah, with a lot of these big farmers, you know, maybe leaving or getting tired or realizing that they're just fucking racing to the bottom and losing. Like that was my whole speculation on this, is like, I don't think anybody's winning on this except for Blur. Like I think even a lot of the people that are farming these tokens are losing ETH when they're doing this. So, you know, maybe some of the farmers are realizing at the end of the day, it's like, hey, yeah, maybe I'll get something back from this, but like, is it actually worth it? Am I really just like giving up a bunch of ETH to try and get a token that may or may not be valuable?
Isn't it dope to see? It's dope and crazy at the same time to see a Nike and Adidas and all of these larger brands launching really, really cool activations and like products on the NFT side at the same time we're like in the bleakest part of the bear market, right? Because in the really big hype up of 2021, we saw like the absolute shittiest drops imaginable, just trying to capture whatever they could out of that 10K PFP movement. And now we're actually seeing really thoughtful drops, and it's in a time frame, and I'll get to this tweet here in a second, where it's not looking that good, you know. So it's a interesting dichotomy there. But Tyler D is saying this is a very bleak picture from C Launch's dashboard. It's just showing marketplace data, right? Unique daily NFT traders were at just 8,000 yesterday, down a whopping 50% this week. The combination of high gas fees, meme coin alternatives, and whales pulling liquidity has had a drastic impact. Where is the bottom?
Who knows, man? But one thing's for certain, you know, the priority remains the same: survive. Survive by any means necessary, right? At this moment, I think that's what most people are doing. They're sitting on their hands. They're not doing a lot of trading. Maybe you're trying to punt for the next shit coin and the Pepes and all that shit. But other than that, you know, I think the name of the game is survive. You know, keep as much liquidity as you can.
So Prodigy had a question on our tweet, so he actually joined that giveaway, that $25 ape coin giveaway, asking about if you know, outside of punks and apes, which project along this frame here would you be looking to potentially enter? Of course, nothing is financial advice, but let me get to this NFT statistics tweet as well, saying a few charts are circulating which show a decline in unique users. It's real, but keep in mind most Dune charts include a final data point for the current day, which is normally only partially complete. This can look like it can exaggerate a downturn. See the below chart for a clearer view. So yeah, usually on those Dune charts, they kind of like fall off a cliff on that last piece. We see it in the NFT Go bag check too. Just make sure you're viewing that as well. But I mean, statistics is sitting up here saying, you know, it's real. This decline in unique users is real. So,
yeah.
What would
man.
you guys get? Not financial advice, but what would you do if you had like decent bag? Like we said,
so I actually found I had one of those moments. We got to think of verbiage for this moment where you find an ETH wallet that has like ETH in it.
Oh, it's the old jacket. It's the jacket pocket.
The jacket pocket.
Yeah.
So I found a jacket pocket with a few amount of ETH in it, if you will. That I'm asking myself this question today because I think my answer would either be a Chromie squiggle or a moonbird. I would say like both of those. I think Oni Force I would like sweep on potentially, and those would be my place.
Interesting. I like those. I like all three of those. What about you, Biggie?
Man, I'm just dying for squiggles right now. That's like the one thing I'm just constantly looking at and scanning and thinking about. It's insane. There's some really, really good deals on like fuzzies and yeah, some others that I don't know. We'll see. Like again, it's one of those things like we're already, you know, hemorrhaging, and that's the other side of the play, right? Where it's like, well, how low can they go, right? But man, yeah, that's really my main focus right now. Just looking at squiggles right now. There are no second and thirds.
What trait is like seen as to be most, I guess, like most collectible, in a sense?
Well, I mean, top of the line are like the hyper squiggles and like the pipes, I would say. But man, within that, there's just so many variables and variations, and I honestly think you just can't go wrong with one, even if even if you get the ugliest squiggle. I just find the theses for squiggles so strong that in spite of them going down right now, it's just I think it's more a matter of preference, right? Yeah, it's iconic, and I really do believe that aside from a lot of the traits that people like to focus on, I think just so, you know, I've seen some like monotone color squiggles that are just bomb, right? Like just like the shape of them and the distribution of them are just so cool that if you're into like, I don't know, like blue and green, and there's some good ones out there, just get one, you know, not financial advice, but you know, they're just dope. And I think they're a solid bet, you know, right up there with punks. They don't need to do anything else. And so, yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to name a few that I think that I think are undervalued and good value, that if I was going to go shopping, I'd be looking around the floors on these projects. World of Lemon is under an ETH. I think that's one that is undervalued or will do very, very well. It has the provenance, the history, massive support from big names, a lot of stuff going on there. I think other side vessels, if the vessels are turning into Maras or these creatures, the vessels are the cheapest entry to getting a Yuga PFP that has ever existed, and they're sitting below 0.3. They're at 0.28 floor right now. I mean, why wouldn't you sweep a bunch of those potentially, right? If those are going to turn into Yuga PFPs, that just seems like a no-brainer. Same with the heavy metals. The heavy metals are also 1.4 ETH. Those are going to be badass Yuga assets. Like we've already seen what some of those look like in the artwork. Those could be really undervalued. Again, great place to be buying into Yuga right now. Seems really, really affordable given what their other PFPs and projects have done. I think Utes is really interesting. That's going to be like the blue chip or one of the blue chip NFTs on Polygon. It already is. It's 1.7 ETH. I would probably want to get a Ute or a couple maybe if I could. I do think Doodles are pretty beaten down. They're literally sitting around 2 ETH, like 2.2 ETH. Might be a good time to get in. Same with Damien Hirst, the currency, 2.25 ETH. That might be interesting. Moonbirds, I agree. Even other deeds, the expanded other deeds right now are at 0.8 ETH, which is way lower than they've been. It is a high supply, but I mean, that's the land for the other side. So it's like less than an ETH, 0.8 ETH. That might be a good place. I do think Beans for Azuki. I think Azuki has proven itself to be a valuable ecosystem, and I want to get in on that. That's at 1.4 ETH floor right now. So Beans, I think, is a good one. VFriends is under 3 ETH. VFriends, we know, is going to have a strong community and a lot of utility in the future, and they've never been that cheap. So basically since mint, I think, right? So VFriends, I do think are interesting at this price. CloneX is another one that y'all didn't mention that I think is going to have a tremendous amount of utility and interest in it, and that's 2.6 floor right now. The Kennel Clubs might be interesting. They're under 5 ETH. And then, yeah, I agree with the other ones that y'all said, like Squiggles. So
nice gift.
Yeah.
Not financial advice, people. Recall this.
You are muted, Q. But I'm sure whatever you had to say was probably brilliant. I'm sure whatever you had to say was probably going to be genius. But yeah, those are some of the ones that I think are really undervalued that I'd be wanting to sweep.
Can you guys hear me at all?
Yeah, you're back.
All right, perfect. Yeah, I'm gonna. That's all I have to say about that. I'm leaving my quote so that no one heard it.
It was too good. It was too good.
It was good. Hey, so I think I'm having some latency issues, but now I like the Utes call. I really do. I think Doodles stand out on this chart as being beaten down, to use your terminology. Like they are wrecked. I mean, 15% in the last 7 days, but if you go out to 30 and you go down to Dudes, they're down 40%, which stands out even on this chart where there's a lot of red. So
yeah. Squashman has also thrown out some good ones. Deadfellas is usually in the list that I call out. I'm very, very bullish on Betty and the Deadfellas team and their IP. Anytime I can get more Deadfellas, I want to. And I do think those are really well priced right now to 5x in the next run or something when things turn around, maybe even 10x. I mean, I really think Deadfellas are great. Toy Boogers are great. You mentioned Onis. I love Onis. Sappy Seals might be good. Curio cards. I mean, I love Robotos too, but I haven't seen them doing much, which kind of worries me.
This is the phenomenon I'm talking about. Like, just because the NFT space will return, which we all three I think believe in that like cycle and winter and summer and all that stuff, doesn't mean that the price is going to come back just because it's a project that launched in 2021. Be very, very wary of that. Be very wary. Like if you think that there's potentially not I don't want to say good team behind it, but there's a lot of different features that make a project good, quote unquote. Not everything's coming back. Even things that you think might, like be very wary. I'm just from previous experience, I'm getting PTSD right now.
Yeah, well, check out this floor. Speaking of things that were a quote unquote blue chip.
Oh,
cool cats under 0.8.
If you have any dry powder, I don't know how, but if you have any dry powder, this is a phenomenal time to fill up your wallet with a lot of different, like, quote unquote former blue chips. I don't know if at 0.7, you're getting into territory where the risk reward is just so low. You know what I mean? Like what's the risk of getting a cool cat at like $0.5?
$1,000. That's like $1,000 right now, maybe a little bit more. $1,200. It's not like a cheap thing for digital asset, but historically, where these have gone and like the amount of interest in the IP and the history and the provenance of something like this. And again, it's like obviously none of this is financial advice. We could go lower. This could go down quite a bit. This could go down to fucking 0.4, 0.3. It might do. These things minted out at 0.2 though. That's what's crazy. These, like, a lot of these quote unquote blue chips are getting close to their like mint prices and shit at this point. Like some of them, again, like VFriends, I think is close to its original mint price, maybe, or maybe that was more like 1.5. I thought it was around like 2 or 3 ETH when that shit minted. But either way, like, yeah, Cool Cat's minted for like 0.2 or something. So yeah, this is.
Hey, Biggie,
no, was it 0.02? I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping on that.
So this has been one of my favorites for a long time. Maybe just because of my vicinity to you and how well that you kind of break down the Moonbirds. But I mean, Moonbirds are another one. I mean, we covered the event that they are putting on right now. Correct? They have a collection based like claim that's happening. So I mean, Moonbirds are another. If I zoom out all the way, what was its peak?
40 ETH.
40?
Yeah. That's as high as they went, man. Yeah. I mean, I will always be pretty bullish on the team, and we got some really exciting announcements coming up. I would say though, if you are looking at a Moonbird queue, just to make sure, like like to check like what its nesting streak is at, because I know a lot of people bought into them just recently after the announcement, expecting to be getting access to the whole Diamond Nest exhibition, only to find out that their Moonboard was not day one nested and that they'll have to wait a little while to get access to the Diamond Nest exhibition. But yeah, a lot of exciting announcements and deliverables that have been a long time coming in that ecosystem. Of course, I'm hyped about it.
So GIF, we were talking about Animoca talking about the Eastern influence, and Sony Black is saying, hey, Azuki has a little bit of interest from Asian markets. I mean, you're sitting at a 15 ETH floor right now. Oh, you're muted.
That's one of the main differentiators that you can point to and say, why is Azuki holding its floor better than almost anything else? Because it just is. And that's why I'm so interested in it now, is that, like, look, despite however I feel about the founders and how it may have started, the point is it's clearly not going anywhere, and it's actually holding up a lot better than a lot of the other ecosystems and big quote unquote blue chips right now. Its floor has not really gone down. In fact, it's been going up with recent announcements and shit. So yeah, I think that's why it's like Beans might be a really smart move right now, since that's the expansion and it's more affordable. And yeah, Squashman, thanks for correcting me. I was thinking it might have actually been 0.02, and that's what they dropped to when Cool Cats minted it. It started at 0.05 and then they dropped to 0.025. So yeah, not quite that low yet, but still, again, Cool Cats getting very, very, very low considering where it's been. I am curious, Biggie, since we have you here as our resident Moonbird, what did you think of the short film?
Oh man, I thought it was amazing. You know, and you know what's even cooler to me is the studio that they partner with, which is the one that Doodles recently bought. I don't know. I just like seeing synergies across different ecosystems and partnerships like that, you know, occur. I'm very proud of that. Our community in particular is always taking that stance of being uh, non-tribalism based, right? Being Switzerland, and so it's really cool to see that this is a partnership between two different ecosystems, right? Essentially, and you know, I love the whole Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom theme. It's really really cool. Uh, yeah, man. I think the lore of this is going to be incredible.
Yeah, it's definitely good quality. It's always fun to watch IP coming to life in this way.
Yeah, dude. 100%.
So Sony's talking about a meme land collection, right? The meme land collection. They came out with more IP, like a trailer essentially. Let's see if we can watch this here in full audio, real quick. It takes about 30 seconds. Let's see if we can watch it. All right, so more of a hype trailer than anything else, but there does like Sony's talking about it. Sorry, I had the audio playing in my ear, but he's talking about meme land being associated with the Asian market as well. Both of these projects are holding a floor and then some. Like Captains is up big. Meme land, I could pull it up here, but what's up, Biggie?
I think there's definitely something to be said about the Asian market. I'm based here right now at the moment, and you do, I don't know, the people I have spoken with are very bullish on it, right? Like I feel it's an untapped market, you know, like not untapped in like they're not aware of this space or not partaking in it, but I do think we have only seen the tip of the iceberg, right? It's the reason why Proof and Moonbirds actually came over here to Tokyo, and it's why you're seeing Bright Moments going to be hosting their next, you know, minting opportunity in Tokyo. It's a very, I don't know, like I think that when you, one of the things that keeps being brought up is just like the culture over here and its own approach towards collectibles and stuff like that is very different from say the United States or Europe. And once you do onboard people into that space, like they are, let's say, just much more loyal and ravenous about the things that they go after. And yeah, I think Azuki and Memeland are two big players that have prioritized their presence in this geographical location, and I think that has been to their benefit, right? And I think you will see more projects like Proof, like Bright Moments, start doing that and reaching out and trying to get themselves known in these geographies. Because I mean, I don't know if you guys understand, but you know, like between China, India, Indonesia, like that's like half the world's population.
That's a lot of money.
And then you're not even considering all the other countries, right, involved. It's a huge world out here, and man, I do have to just say, because I love this region of the world, man. They hustle, dude. They hustle like nobody else. I'm saying this as a Mexican. Like these guys, like I'm just saying that. Yeah, I'm just saying. And
they're gamblers. Like, they're gamblers.
Real respect.
Yeah.
Real. Yeah.
That is one thing that gets lost. To Biggie's point that he's making too. Like we're always trying to make these analogies, but when the crypto market wasn't as secular with the NFT rise and all this stuff and DeFi, there was an outsized look at, oh, Bitcoin is pumping because of China. You know, Bitcoin is pumping because of Korea. Like we lost that in the NFT space because we got like down a smaller niche, and I don't think it becomes more it's not as cross-cultural as money. You know what I mean? Like it's easy for people across borders to understand Bitcoin. It's just money. When it comes to NFTs, like you have the language barrier and all these different things, but man, was China a big part of Bitcoin's rise in 17? Before that, even, you know, so I felt like there's a huge blind spot for NFTs with me on this subject. You know, not
And I
knowing.
think you'll see it also just like from the regulatory perspective, right? Like Meme Llama, I think is like the company is based out of Hong Kong. So they're not going to have a problem launching a token, which I believe the CEO has repeatedly mentioned, right? Like they're not going to have any regulatory issues. They don't have to respond to anybody. So they don't have the fucking Gensler there, like stepping on their balls or anything. So you will see I don't know, that is definitely an advantage over here, right? And again, to your point, Q, there were so many people, right? That were like, oh, there's too many PFP projects. It's oversaturated. And what they don't understand is that it's like, yeah, for the Western world, but for other parts of the region, like there still remains like a lot of blue ocean there to capture, right? Like people's cultural identities, even, right? Like some like art that people resonate with over here is not necessarily going to be the art that people resonate with in Europe or in the United States. And so yeah, I'm really bullish on this part of the world. I think we're going to see amazing innovation. And I mean, just seeing that short hype trailer that, I mean, Japan is like it is the hotbed, right, for anime. So I have no doubt that it's going to be fire.
There's no chart in NFTs that looks like this right now. It's such an interesting conversation we're having with Azuki, Meme Land, Asian markets, because there's really no chart that looks like this. Everything's wrecked, and Azuki seems to be, on another trajectory. To that point, NFT Statistics is also talking about Milady's not following that trajectory, because Milady is also pumping the fuck off. Let me see if I can get it.
Have y'all done a deep dive on this project? Because I've heard pretty fucked up things about this project.
No.
Yeah, I don't know the whole story, but please do tell, Gif. I have heard things.
I've just heard that it's connected to a lot of like really fucked up things, like the darker side of the internet that like we don't really want to associate with. So I don't know the facts. I don't know the facts on this. So if anybody does know details on what is going on with Miladies, I just know that I don't, like, based on some of the things that I've heard anecdotally, I don't feel super comfortable about like promoting it at all. So yeah, it might be interesting, but also I've just heard that there's some pretty bleak, dark things behind that project.
Yeah. I mean,
somebody tell me in the chat what it's about, because like,
I don't want to promote it.
Fucked up
I'm just talking about the price. Yeah, I agree with what you're talking about. So
yeah, well, it's like, yeah, we don't know the truth behind it, but if any of the things that I've heard are true, it's pretty ugly.
Okay,
like 4chan, 8chan.
I got you.
Shit, but
well, then we'll move on.
Yeah, well, I did want to touch on. So I'm sharing the Bright Moments Tokyo stuff because I do think this is fascinating. I think this is coming up very soon, and there's definitely a play around these Bright Moments drops. And so this is the actual schedule that they've just shared, which is May 5th through May 10th. They will have the collection minting.
Biggie's just gonna miss it.
Different types
I get there on the 15th, dude. 5 days after.
Oh man,
like,
I want to be there so bad
from the buzz.
Yeah, but they're going to be having artist sessions and workshops during it. They'll have the live minting, which is a crazy experience. It looks like just during these 3 days, the 6th or the 8th. And yeah, maybe we can click through and just see what else. So here you go. Bright Moments Tokyo, a 6-day celebration of generative AI and contemporary art in the heart of Japan. Yeah, this is going to be awesome. Like I wish I could be here for this. And look at this whole schedule they've got outlined with all this different stuff happening every day. Here you go. This is what the crypto Tokyo art looks like.
That's dope.
Tokyoites. Yeah. So again, they have these crypto citizens and they're doing this in 10 different cities. And so if you go look, there's the Mint Pass Tokyo, and there's 1,100 of these right now. Floor price just below 0.3.
What?
And they've got these golden tokens. I don't know what these are. Golden token. Willy Wonka had golden tickets. Bright Moments has golden tokens. Each golden token gives the holder the right to mint one crypto citizen IRL or remote in a future Bright Moment. Okay, so this is interesting. So this is giving more optionality to these, but these floor prices are much higher, 0.65 ETH.
Still,
Yeah.
for what they usually go for, these mint passes during a bull run.
Yeah, but apparently there is a remote. I think there is a remote though. It said in the email that you can check into like mint remotely now, which is good, because I think initially that was a problem with a lot of people, is you like had to be there to mint your token. So it sounds like they're solving for that now.
Yeah, there were a lot of people in the Mexico City one that like would send their pass to a buddy that would be there to do the mint. And man, like I'm sure the art is gonna be fire. This whole remote minting thing, I mean, it's kind of like second best. Like I couldn't make it. These things though, to me, it's all about the IRL event, right? And I am just so curious to see what this is gonna be like, because they've just been raising the bar everywhere they go, every other city they go. So in Tokyo, man, I mean, I don't know, like comparatively though, like I don't know if you guys checked out there were a few, like they didn't make a whole video of it, but like the event that Proof held in Tokyo was just outstanding, man. It was amazing. And I mean, that was more like a Proof Moonbirds gathering. This is an actual whole minting experience and event, so I can't help but think it's going to be just off the chain.
From the first time. So it was Bright Moments.
I hope they
Marfa?
document it. No, Bright Moments was in Mexico City. Art Blocks is in Marfa.
Got it.
Yeah. Bright Moments has done Crypto Mexicanos, I think, or Crypto Mexas. They've done Crypto Berliners, New Yorkers, Venetians, starting here in Venice Beach and LA. And I think that's it. And then Tokyo, I guess, is the fifth
Londoners.
One. Oh, Londoners. Okay, so maybe this is the sixth then? Yeah, they did Londoners.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're supposed to do 10 different cities.
And then the next one, you know where it's going to be? Buenos Aires, Argentina, man.
Wow.
That's going to be...
It's brilliant. And a big part of what they're doing and why it's so smart is that they are trying to onboard while they're there and leave behind a community in each of these different locations. So they're truly creating a global community, a global group. And back to the point of what we were talking about, Asian markets, all this stuff. It's like, that is one of the, whether or not certain parts of the culture, translate very well, crypto is global by nature. It is a global phenomenon. And so there is at least the potential for all of this stuff to transcend, any sort of nation state or any sort of boundary or any sort of, any sort of international lines can be crossed with this stuff. It's just about communicating it and setting it up and trying to figure out how to make that happen. I think Bright Moments is doing a good job of that. I do have the Starbucks thing pulled up if you want to hit it.
Yeah, let's do it, because I got about 3 topics I want to hit before we cash out here at the end of the day. Hey, before we get into Starbucks, please leave a like on today's episode. It helps get the word out about what we're trying to do. We got a couple more topics we're going to get into, but we definitely appreciate if we can get as many people in here as possible to chat about what's going on with Starbucks, what's happening. Here are the topics in a row, just so you guys can get ready. We got Blue Sky Network, which is a social network that has just launched that we're going to touch on. We've got Apple introducing basically that they're becoming a very quickly a bank. They're working with, I believe, Goldman Sachs on this for a 4% APY, which is 10 times the national average on a yield product for Apple now, which is actually pretty dope. And again, Starbucks going to be the topic that we get now. Starbucks Odyssey launching new NFTs. So, Gifted, let's transition. What do you got for us, man?
Yeah, so this is it. This is the new drop that just dropped yesterday. It's actually still in the midst. So actually you can see this mint ends in 22 minutes. So it's about to end, and almost all of them are already minted out before it goes, I guess, to public. So about a little bit less than 4,600 out of 5,000 were minted just by the people that are currently in the members program, which I apparently do not qualify as a Starbucks Odyssey member because I haven't gotten enough stamps yet. I've been slow on this. I've been doing a little bit of it, but I've been too slow. And so this is how they're already sort of creating more utility within their own ecosystem, allow listing people who are participating and collecting these stamps. And yeah, so I think it will go to public sale here in just the next 20 minutes. We don't have to read all of it, but this is the first store collection. And yeah, it's all about the first location from like 1971 or something that was in Seattle's Pike's Place. And yeah, there you go. That started yesterday. Almost all of them minted out for a little bit less than 4,600 with just 20 minutes left. And yeah, the initial mint price being 100. The floor, I believe, was around like 150 right now or something. Where is it? Let me see if I can get back to it here.
Squashman saying no public sale. Any remaining supply gets burned.
Oh shit. Okay. So yeah, the floor right now is around 180, or the last sale was $180. So, it's already close to a 2x. Here you go.
Ooh. Sheesh.
Secondary market volume,
that.
almost $120,000 already.
Hey, who's consulting and working with Starbucks? Great job. Just fantastic job. You couldn't be doing a better job here with this Starbucks rollout. I mean, it's nothing like splashy out the front, but they're doing all the right things, it feels like.
Yeah. No, I'm very excited about Starbucks because, again, it's not like whether or not you think that they're the coolest, neatest shit out there. The point is that they're doing a good job of creating something interesting and valuable with a purpose. Like, it's for a rewards program, and these are business leaders. It's one of the biggest consumer brands in the world, creating a unique and interesting case study that so many other brands will look to. This is the type of shit that goes into agency decks that gets shared around to a bunch of different brand clients when they're talking about how do we reinvigorate our brand? How do we create community engagement? How do we take our brand to the next level? These are the things that get put into these case study decks and sent around all of these different creative agencies. And that's what's so exciting to me as a business leader, one of the biggest consumer brands in the world. All these other brands look to them, and having a successful project like this, it's hard to say how important this ends up being over the next couple of years, right? But I think it's tremendous, and it's really exciting to me because it is in stark contrast. I love the dichotomy, as you put it, Q, of what's going on with big brands actually starting to make real progress in the space while the regulatory situation is what it is, and how much pressure do these big brands end up being able to put on the government to come up with some better common sense regulation here in the US? Because all of this shit can go abroad. All of these types of perks, benefits, innovation, the wealth, all of it. It doesn't need to be in the US if the US doesn't want it here.
Hey, Gif, real quick question. As far as the custody of the capital in your wallet, the liquidity in your wallet, are you able to easily just transfer those dollars out?
I guess I'm not fully understanding the question.
Can you take money out of this wallet?
This wallet?
Is this on Polygon?
This isn't my wallet.
No, I understand.
Okay.
I'm talking about Starbucks in general. If I bought a collection card and sold it for 200 and want to take out 100, can I do that at this moment?
I think so, but to be honest, I have not actually bought in this marketplace. But this marketplace is built on Nifty Gateway. So like as easy as it is on Nifty Gateway, I think it's pretty much the same process, right?
Okay.
So it's like they have their own platform that they've built using Nifty Gateway's platform. So it's basically the same situation. So just like you have to move it in, to their custodial wallet, but you can move it back out. I think it's the same situation. So it's probably just like an extra step of moving it in to move it out, right?
Yeah. Hey, as you were talking about that, we looked at the Decrypt article here, and from this article, it says a Starbucks company representative said at the time that the program has seen unprecedented interest from customers. So
let's go.
Who knows what that is? I don't see any.
I
don't see any stats, but you said unprecedented interest, and I like it.
A win's a win. Marty, a win is a win, fam.
true. In times like these, yes. Marty McFly saying, hard to see a catalyst for NFTs going forward. Selling my punk for major loss before it's too late.
Fucking Marty.
Goodbye, Marty. Hopefully we'll be here when you get back.
His Twitter. He's about to delete his Twitter account.
Need a new PFP.
Everybody go say your last words, your farewells to Marty on Twitter before he bounces out.
The art and traits reveal at noon as well for the Starbucks first store collection. And then Marty's asking what happened to Subducks. God, I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole.
The Turtles killed them. The Turtles killed the Subducks. That's what I heard.
Oh my God.
Ask Crypto Buffalo what's going on with that. Hey, really quick hit here, ZachXBT. Hey, look, if you get to a certain point with your scammery in the NFTs, just know that ZachXBT is coming after you. Not even just in NFTs either. It's in all of crypto. He called out Soulja Boy here for 73 promotions and 16 NFT drops done by him. Soulja's already been served, I believe, with like multiple letters here from the SEC. So he was recently charged by the SEC for Tron and sued for Safe Moon.
Oh, he's been sued by the SEC. He hasn't just been like sent letters or whatever Wells notices. Like he's been actively sued already.
So let's look at some of these. Tron, Safe Moon, Top Doge, Rap Doge, New Inu. Luckily, we don't know about a lot of these. Safe Earn,
Jesus.
Rod Token.
Man. So he was like a shitcoin influencer.
Soulja Boy's always just been about getting money. He's never given a fuck about anything else. Like I don't know if y'all like really think Soulja Boy's out here trying to create value for his community.
No.
But this is what I was trying to say. Like the other day, like when his most latest rugs all dropped and they all fucking sold out. I'm like, who are the people? Where are you? Like, come talk to us. So tell us what you're thinking. I want to dig in and understand the mentality of somebody who keeps buying Soulja Boy's NFTs at this point.
What?
I'm literally confused and want to know, where is this community of collectors that are buying Soulja Boy NFTs after his like litany of other rugs and shitty promotions? Where are you? Please come talk to us. I want to hear the logic. I want to know what is going on.
The best part about this is that there is no like extremely harsh penalty at the other end. So this is an example that Zach brought up here, saying he netted in these promotions $730,000 plus and was only charged 12 G's and 10K for those promotions. So I believe
cost of doing business for him.
Exactly. So that's a really quick one. I don't know. You guys have any last thoughts on Soulja Boy here? Soulja Boy, tell him.
Lord almighty, man. Rest in peace.
Apple.
I mean, the last thing to say there is just remember, you got to crank that Superman before that Superman cranks you.
Got him. All right. Apple's new card will yield 4.15% APY, 10 times the national average. This is pretty dope because there's a lot of negative macro news on the financial side, but having a yield offering or a yield product for Apple, is dope for Apple users. And I just think it's a pretty cool move by Apple here, but it also yield products like offering higher APYs, because essentially it's not a race to the bottom with APY products. It's a race to higher levels of APY, and often it's not a prerequisite for a bull market, but it's oftentimes what you see in a bull market. So BlockFi and a lot of the yield products got up to like 12, 13% APY in bull markets. So seeing a product that offers 4.15% APY, dope. Maybe other products kind of follow suit. Maybe Coinbase comes online and says, hey, we're gonna offer. What's up?
Definitely dope, but we must agree, Q, that 4.515% is going to be scrutinized, I hope, by everybody, because I want to know exactly.
They won't tell
to
you.
The fucking point. Oh, then I ain't fucking playing. Period. That's all. That's my bottom line, man. If you cannot be transparent and tell me everything, I don't want no part of that shit.
So they were working with Goldman Sachs, which offers a high yield APY.
They're working with Goldman. I can trust them now.
There you go.
Let me throw in
See?
everything.
There you go.
Fuck that.
With no fees,
Fuck
no
that.
minimum deposits, and no minimum balance requirements, users can easily set up and manage their savings account directly from the Apple Card and wallet. Here's another tie-in here. Twitter will probably offer a similar service within, 2-3 years at this point? Maybe even sooner, depending on how fast Elon wants to move.
At the speed that he moves, I think it's faster, sooner.
All right, Quantum saying, what about the Nike swoosh posters? We covered it earlier. I don't know if Gift still has that up. We can pull that back up for Quantum Variant here. Otherwise,
you missed it. You missed it, fam. Go back and rewatch.
Otherwise, this is the last topic of the day here. Blue Sky Network. If you're on Twitter, this has come across your timeline. I'm sure people that you follow have been tweeting out, Blue Sky, and talking about this new social media network that apparently has decentralization as a major vision, is backed by Jack Dorsey and a lot of other checkboxes that need to happen to launch something like this. So, I mean, we can have we'll dive into the details here, but I think there's also a broader conversation to be had with like the lack of decentralized social media that we have now and why that is. We talked about Minds, GIF, the library was a crypto YouTube platform for a long time. They offered you, library tokens for providing content, for watching content, all this type of stuff, and they're shut down at this point, I believe. So
they were sued. They were treated as an unregulated security. I think they were sued into non-existence. Right.
I think they also had user issues, but and they probably did okay, but I don't think they got to where they needed to go. But you're right. The suing was like the dagger in the heart, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so I don't know how much time we want to spend on this. I'm sure we'll come back and spend more time on this in the coming days and weeks if it stays relevant and, more people keep jumping in. I think a lot of people are frustrated by social media and don't love social media as it currently exists, which is why like everybody is looking for alternatives that can solve the issues that we have. However, I don't like just having more apps, more things to do, more decentralization without enough utility is broken. And like, for instance, like I'm tired of having 10 different messaging apps. Sure. To me, like this was the thing that I started to think about is like the ideal scenario to me is to have Elon Musk's vision of like a US Western based super app that literally has the maximal amount of utility in one place, but that it would be as community governed as possible. So actually like a majority DAO run, right? Like having a DAO controlling the majority interest or stake or whatever in it, so that you can somehow find a way to maximize both the centralization of utility with the decentralization of governance. However you can find that, like the closest middle ground to that, to me is like the ideal scenario. I don't know if that's realistic. Would Elon Musk ever want to actually initialize a DAO that could have some kind of real say in his, ego, his ego acquisition, his move to have his own billionaire's toy chest and a media company and all the things that he's doing? Would he be able to ever do that? I doubt it. But like that to me is the ideal scenario. I'm not really amped up on this because as we were reading it, it sounds like we've got all these brilliant ideas for doing all this stuff, but it kind of just sounds like a roadmap for a project that may or may not ever exist right now. That said, if it does actually take off in any meaningful way, there's always opportunities for new influencers to be made by getting in early. And I think that's why anytime that a new social network pops up, there's always people that want to just jump on it and be the first, because a lot of times new influencers are established by being early on these new waves. So there might be opportunity there. I just think reading about it, I'm not super interested in it yet, because it just sounds like another social platform to me go and like put my time and energy into that I don't really give a shit about. Could be big. I don't know.
Solid take. Yeah. I mean, again, I'm curious about it, and I'll leave it at that. You know, I'm the anytime these things come up, like my .com speculative light bulb just lights up, and I'm just like, okay, let's see, is this gonna be a land rush for particular handles, and how are you gonna control that, right? Because I think we all know how these things usually go, right? Like they open it up, and immediately people go in there and try to squat on every valuable fucking keyword out imaginable, and it just ruins it for everybody. And there's been some interesting approaches to that. I don't completely agree with all of them, but let's see how Dorsey handles this, and what he has in store for it, especially, right? Since he's been pretty involved with the Cash App and all that other stuff. So let's see.
I'm going to read directly from the post here, from how Blue Sky is basically laying their thesis out for the creation of what they're trying to do. I will just say, like, I'm with Biggie with the fact that, like, there have been a lot of companies with the same exact thesis of decentralizing social media that have even raised money in the ICO times, and probably raised money in 2005 and 2001, and said, we're going to do social media, but for the people. And it's just it's so hard. It's the hardest, in my opinion, it's the hardest sector to disintermediate, is social media, because it needs people. So yeah. Quantum Variant saying you should at least claim your Blue Sky name. Lots of the NFT crowd is pretty active on there. I can see that. All right, let me read this off, and then we'll get any last takes here. Blue Sky is a decentralized social media initiative backed by Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey. I don't know why I'm reading it like that. Sorry, Blue Sky. Aiming to create an open protocol for social networking. It focuses on user empowerment, decentralized identity, and reputation systems. Blue Sky's decentralized nature offers its benefits like content moderation, data ownership, and reduced reliance on a single company. So GIF, this is kind of like, you're talking about, let's have a single company, right? That has everything. They're saying we don't want to rely on a single company. Oh, muted.
Yeah, this is the conundrum that we find ourselves in, right?
Gotcha.
Because it's not necessarily a utility to just have chaos and decentralization by itself. You know what I mean? Like to actually form and create a lot of value and utility, you need people that are running shit effectively. And some kind of centralization. Like, this has been one of the interesting things about the early growing pains of DAOs in general, is that a lot of people realize, oh, it's not like a utopian idea to just have a socialist, governing structure where everybody gets to decide things.
Yeah.
It's like, it doesn't actually work. And so even within a DAO system, you need a board. You need people that are running the ship. You need leaders to step up and like drive shit forward. So even in a decentralized governing structure like a DAO, you actually need some centralized authority to make sure that shit's getting done and shit's moving forward, and like, actually decisions that are good are being made. So it's all like a learning experiment. And again, it's fun to see shit come and go like this. I don't know, man. Again, I wish that we could find ways to build on top of existing networks like the Polygons and the Ethereums that have already done a lot of the hard work of creating a decentralized network, getting some adoption, getting some users, instead of creating a new protocol to try and do that too. It's like, I don't know exactly how it would work to create some kind of master dApp on a Polygon or like one of these scalable ETH, layers that can like basically become that super app. It gets very complicated, But to me, that seems like the way that I'd want to go with it is like, okay, you've already got this incredibly hard thing to achieve, which is a predominantly decentralized network with adoption and users on it. Can we not just figure out how to utilize that instead of creating like something separate and new? So I don't know.
It does feel like this project has a lot of like Web3 forward ideals right up front. That's the one thing I will say that sounds different based on this post. It says, let's see, this could empower. Oh, let's say Blue Sky has the potential to become the first native Web3 social media platform. Yada yada yada. This could empower creators to tokenize content, facilitate a vibrant ecosystem for digital art and collectibles, enable decentralized identity. I mean, those are right up front, like providing marketplaces for NFTs, working on decentralized identity. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and look, with somebody like Jack Dorsey behind it, it might actually have real potential. So again, I'm not just fudding it to death. I'm just saying like, I'm not immediately excited to separate and splinter more of my time and energy across another app yet. But yeah, again, early movers, early adopters of these things can often, win big. So I'm not, yeah.
This is the last comment here. Rob Stradamus is saying, hey, y'all, just join the chat. What's going on with the Zuki pump? I can't believe Azuki passed MAYC. We did just cover this about 20 minutes ago. He said, scratch my damn head. LOL. Do any of y'all two want to cover why we think Azuki could potentially be passing MAYC?
No. I mean, look, the one obvious differentiator is the Asian market adoption, right? And we talked about that. But yeah, it is crazy to see. We were comparing charts, and like it's one of the only charts that's holding up right now. Another one that is not holding up that is, I think, worth mentioning briefly, because it does look like it's maybe getting into our buy zone here. Q Nakamigos, my guy, 0.26, 0.264.
What's your buy zone?
It was around 0.25. So you know what?
Yeah, we'll see if
I might start putting in some bids on some.
Are we getting a live buy?
It's not going to happen right now. I'll tell you that much. But I'm going to go start scratching around on that floor, seeing what's looking good.
Dude, if that hits 0.15 to about like 0.17, I'll pull the trigger. All right. All right. I'm joining the Nakamigos gang. All right, folks. Hey, Biggie is all the way across the world, still gallivanting across our great planet here. So we're going to let him go. We are going to head out of here for the week. No episode tomorrow. We are headed to Austin. Just one final reminder, the Web3, yes, I know. Web3 Lounge is going to be a highbrow, lowbrow on April 26th, 4 to 8 p.m. So if you're going to Austin, we will be there. I just dropped the link in the chat there. Prodigy, you won the $25 worth of ape today. So send me your Ethereum address and I will get you those ape tokens. They're still holding. We're about $4.15. So you're still getting some value there.
Deep value. That's deep fucking value right there, fam.
All right. Our Vibe, our Tribe, I'll let these two guys end the show here. Thank you so much. Biggie, it's always great to see you, my dude.
Likewise. Love seeing the both of you. Love seeing everybody in the chat. It's why I do this. I enjoy it. That's all I got to say. I love you, fam.
Hell yeah. It's always amazing to get a Biggie Poppin' from Biggie Poppins live. Unexpected.
I like that.
He's doing what he does. Y'all, so smash the like for Biggie coming through. If you haven't already liked it, give it a like because we got Biggie in the castle, in the NFT studio. Yes, shout out to all the amazing people in the chat. It's been another awesome week. Even though it's touch and go, we were kind of all over the place. We got together today, and it was a good time. So yeah, big love to all y'all. Our Vibe, our Tribe. We'll be back next week, at least on Monday, and then I don't know, heading to Austin Tuesday or Wednesday.
It's gonna get weird down in Austin. All right, peace. Yeah.
The flex, bumping just know what she need, she blessed, ayy, giving you my best, ayy, yeah, I got my heart on my sleeve with a knife in my back, what's with that, ayy, 21, I love him, then my brother, that's my stack, ayy, Metro made the beat, so you know that it's gon' slap, ayy, yeah, it's gon' slap, ayy, tell him, run it back, talking to a diva, yeah, she on my nerves, she think that I need her, kick her to the curb. All I know is you couldn't have the world, yeah, you want my world.
Got these girls on my neck, got these girls on my track. Like Selena, baby, on my cheating, baby, yeah. She taking a Lambo for a drive, it's in my fancy door, and she way out the store. I got my heart on my sleeve with the city on my back, ain't no cap. Say she from Toronto, but can't find it on the map. That's on me, I put her in the past. Let's know that.
Talking to a diva, yeah, she on my nerves. She think that I need her, kick her to the curb. All I know is you couldn't have the world, yeah, you want my. I came in with my ex like Selena, the flex, ayy. Bumping Justin Bieber, the fever ain't left, ayy. She know what she need, she blessed, ayy, giving you my best, ayy, yeah, I got my heart on my sleeve with a knife in my back, what's with that, ayy, 21, I love him, then my brother, that's my stack, ayy, Metro